Amanda here from Scrimpingmommy.co.uk. Thanks for joining me today. And today I'm going to share with you a really lovely gift box. If you're new to my channel, please do click the subscribe button and also make sure you hit the bell notification. That way you will get notified every time I upload a new project and you won't miss anything. So we're starting with a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Now this measures 10 3/4 of an inch by 7 1/8 of an inch. If you work in centimetres, visit the description box below. There's a direct link to my blog, and from today onwards I am going to endeavour to add centimetre conversion to all of my projects as well as inches. I do work in inches, but I know there's a lot of people that work in centimetres, so where I can and where it converts nicely, I will leave those for you. So on the long side, we are scoring at 2 1/4, 4 1/4, 6 1/2, and 8 1/2. Then we're going to turn it on the short side, and we're scoring at 3/8 of an inch, 2 3/8, 4 3/4, and 6 3/4. Okay. That is all of our scoring done. So now I can fold and burnish all of those score lines. And I will show you how to construct this box. Now it is a fold flat box, which means you can store it folded flat. And you know, put it together when you want to use it, and it's also a no glue box. Now we are going to be using adhesive on the decoration of the box, but the main shell of the box doesn't need any adhesive to keep it closed. Okay, which is always fun. Maybe you make soaps or lip balms or wax melts or jewellery and you need a lot of boxes, but you obviously, you know, you need them folded flat, don't you? So we're going to remove quite a few panels, so I'm going to bring in my pencil. So we are going to remove all of this section here. Okay, we're going to remove the top tab there, the top tab there, and all of this section here, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to remove all of this section here. Okay, we're going to remove the tab from here, we're going to remove the tab from here, and we're going to remove all of this. Let me scribble on it and then you can really see, and then you can pause and you can follow along. Now another thing that I'm going to do is I did create a template. It's quite a tatty looking one as I'm working my measurements out, but this is how I do it, and I'll take a screenshot of that and I will leave it over on my blog so you can see the shape when it's been cut out. Okay, so let's start and cut these pieces away. So we don't need any of that. I think it just helps and makes it easier. I should have turned it over and drawn on the other side really. Let me just trim that. Okay. Would have been far easier to do it on the other side, but there we go. Trim that away. I'll have to do it this way or else you won't be able to see what I'm doing. Trim all of that away. Let me just go back in. These scissors are a little bit on the rubbish side. I just can't seem to find a pair that suit me at all. I think I'm going to go on the hunt for some. Okay, so we've got that so far. So now we need to cut the top 2 tabs at that side and this whole part of there. So let's do that. And then cut the this away. Can you tell I'm concentrating? Because I've gone quiet. People are normally worried when I go quiet. Right, so then we're going to cut the other one away. The whole entire, the small flap and the entire square. Like I say, if you're unsure, I will leave a photograph of the template over on my blog. Really easy to find. All you've got to do is type into your internet search bar scrimpingmommy.co.uk and it will come up. So we've got this, okay? So I'm just going to flip it over because that's the way my score lines are. So that is the shape. So we've got these two end pieces and then we've got 3 rows of 3 and the 2 middle ones I've got flaps. Couldn't be easier. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my score tool and my favourite ruler. And we're going to do a score line on each of the 4 corners. I'm not classing these aren't corners, these are corners. And we're going to go from the inside to the outer corner, okay? Actually, we want to turn it over, we want to score it that way. So where you've scored the other way, we're doing it from the front. And that way your score lines will be the right way around. Okay. So from the corner outwards, pressing on. If you've got a diagonal plate on your scoreboard, you can use that. I don't have one. Okay. And the more accurate you get that, the easier it will fold and the neater it will fold. So take your time and get it nice. Okay. So this is where the magic happens. So fold it back over now, and where you have done those scores, those diagonal scores, coax them into folding up like so. Okay, so you'll lift it, if you'll just lift it up with your finger and your finger underneath and your finger and thumb there and press, it will automatically just want to go. And then you line it up and those 2 edges will meet together nicely. Okay, and then push that down, that flap, and give it a good crease. Okay, so if I just twizzle it around to the next corner, you can see the line here. Start and pinch it together, stick your finger under it, pinch it together, make sure those are lined up, and then push it flat down and give it a crease. Okay, and the same on the others. I'm going to speed these ones up because it's just the same process. Don't forget, you do have, you know, the option to watch the video again. You've got the option to fast forward and slow videos down so that you can see. Okay, so we've got that now, and we've got these duck beaks. Okay, so now this box will go together and they will fold in, but that is going to create a lot of bulk. So I'm just going to fold that up and I'm going to mark where those 2 cross over each other. I'm going to just mark one of them with pencil at the point where they just meet. Okay, and what I'm going to do there, so I've got my little pencil mark and I'm going to draw a square. So I'm going to put it on my grid. I'm not measuring it as such. This has just been done by eye, but I'm just going to make sure that that line is straight. Okay, so just line it up on my grid paper and just make sure that that little square there is straight. There's no precise measurement for it, it's just a little square, and we're just going to nip that out with our scissors. Okay, so that we've got that. And then we're going to do the same on each of the other 3 corners, but we've already got our little squares. We don't need to cut and measure it again. Just to put it over the top with the score lines on top of each other like so, and cut around it. It's quicker. You've got yourself a little ready-made template. Okay. I'll just do that. I'm not fast forwarding or editing any of the video, and then you won't miss any of it. So put that on there and cut around. Like I say, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, because it's going to be on the inside of the box, so it doesn't matter. It's just, you know, it just takes some of the bulk out, and then when you shut it, it's neater. Okay. Okay. Like so. Alright. And then when you fold that in together, it's just less bulk there at the back. You can just see they'll meet together instead of crossing over and having a load of bulk. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to decorate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 panels. You will be pleased to know that I have done this bit beforehand. Okay, so let me just get it the right way around. So you're going to need 3 card panels for the 2 ends and the middle. Okay, so that is these 2 and this one. I've pre-done them, and these measure, okay, I have backed them on Petal Pink DSP cardstock, and then I've used Twinkle Twinkle DSP, and the cardstock measures 2 1/8 by 2 1/4, and the DSP measures 2 by 2 1/8. I will leave all of that over on my blog, the cardstock layers and the DSP layers, okay. And I'm just going to quickly attach those. I would rather use wet glue, but just make sure you're getting them the right way, because these aren't squares, okay? These panels are not square, so it does matter which way around you stick those on, because it's shorter one way than it is the other. So double check before you glue it down. Okay, so that's those. And then you've got these 2, what I'm calling end panels here. And these, you need, the cardstock needs to measure 2 1/8 of an inch by 1 7/8. And the DSP needs to measure 1 3/4 by 2. Okay, I think that's these 2 pieces. Is it? No. No, it's these 2 pieces. This is why I did them before I switched the camera on. Okay. So basically you're going to have 3 different panels, 3 different sizes, which is another reason why I will leave it all over on my blog. Now you can construct this box without any panels, use it, you know, and just have it as a plain box and then just decorate it simpler. I just wanted to layer it. You don't have to. You could even make it just out of DSP if you pick one that's sturdy. So you can totally and utterly miss all of the layering and panels out if you so desire. So then we've just got these 2 panels here, and these measure, the cardstock is 1 7/8 by 2 1/4, and the DSP is 1 3/4 by 2 1/8. Okay, like I say, I've got it all written down, so I will leave it on my blog. There. Okay, so that's them finished. All right, and then it all just folds together like so. Them 2 fold in. Then you tuck your little flaps like that, lift one lid over that way and lift one lid over that way. All right, and now what you can do is you can just wrap twine or wrap ribbon around it. Really simple. And I'm going to use the variegated, which is absolutely beautiful. Okay, getting quite a generous piece, and I'm just going to wrap that around. Very simpler. tie it in a knot to one side. Like I say, you could have a heap of these ready to go for whatever purpose you may need a box for. You could decorate them all the same, you could decorate them all differently, and like I say, you could just make them out of card and ribbon without the layering, if you know, if that's easier for you. Okay, so let me just faff with my ribbon for a bit so that I've got that twisted a bit. But it's such beautiful ribbon. It's really forgiving. If you're not terribly good at tying bows, it's very forgiving because it's so soft and pretty. And what I am going to do is I'm just going to cut them in what I call sailor. I don't know why I call them sailor cuts, like that. And the other one. Then we're going to do some stamping because I like to add a sentiment. Okay, how pretty is that ribbon? It's absolutely adorable. Really, really sits nice on that box. Really, really lovely. And when that box is complete and it's built, it measures 2 3/8 by 2 1/4 by 2, so it's quite a nifty size. Okay, so let's do some stamping. So I'm using the A Good Day. I just think it's lovely, and I like it because it's quick. It's got most sentiments that you need, and you can combine it with the punches, the scalloped edge punches that go with it, and make sentiments really quickly. So let's just move my box out of the way one moment. And the stamp that I've chosen is this Thank You So Much. And I'm using the Petal Pink ink, and I've got some of the Petal Pink card. So really quickly, stamp that on there. Okay, do I want that one? Does it fit? It does. And it just leaves some of the, because what you would do ideally is you would use the 1 3/8 of an inch so that it fits it all in, and then use another bigger one to do the plain, but I want the plain in the fancy, so I'm using the smaller one. So I am losing some of that shape, but I've still got those leaves or petals or whatever just showing there at the bottom, and I like that look. Okay, and then I can have my coloured layer using the larger punch. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a sponge so I can just really quickly ink that up so that it looks super pretty. Okay, doke. And then you can just use dimensionals, which are here. Okay, one on the back of there. Give it a press and take it off. Put it on there. Try and get it central, Amanda. There we go. And one on. I'm going to put 2 on this one, so that it's nice and sturdy. Okay, and then you can add that just to the corner of your little box like so. In fact, I'll add it to the opposite corner of the bow, shall I? So I'll have it there. Oh, I don't know, I can't decide. I think I'll have it just in the middle. Let's put it in the middle. No, I like it there. Oh, I can't decide. I don't think it matters. As long as you've got a pretty sentiment on your box, who cares? Right, so what I just did want to add was, I had some little, here we go, some little sequins or some little hearts. I'm not quite sure which one I want on. I think I'm just going to have a little tiny heart on. So I'll just grab my Take a Pick tool. In fact, no, I've changed my mind. I'm going to have some of the little sequins in the lovely pale blue, because that, although the predominant colour here is pink, it does have little shades of of blues in and greens. So I'm using some of the self-adhesive sequins, and I'm just going to add a couple to my, put one there and one there, and I think that's really pretty, and we'll leave it there because I could carry on decorating forever. I love decorating. So I hope you'll give that lovely little box a try. Like I say, I will leave all of the measurements over on my blog at scrimpingmommy.co.uk. If you do use the box and you make some, tag me. I'm loving it. Some of the projects that I've been making recently, people have been making them, the little purse mini album, the desk storage, the little mini file folder, and they've been sharing photos with me, and I really, really love it. So please do tag me if you make any of my projects, so I can come and say how awesome you are and enjoy seeing your crafting. Okay, I'll leave that with you, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.